Hello everyone, how's it going? So I saw this on my Twitter feed and I just had to make a video on it because I've never seen this before. Repairing Xbox 360 today and I found an error I've never seen before. So apparently the previous owner somehow has bad debt with Microsoft, and so this Xbox 360 is locked out forever. So sorry, this console can't play until subscription payments are up to date, and they give you a link and you can't even visit the link. Like, I have never seen this before. Usually, if you can't pay your subscriptions, they just turn off the online function for the console. You can still access everything offline, but you can't even access it offline. When you try to boot up a game on the disk drive, it revs up like it's going to run, and it just when it sounds like it's going to start, it goes back to the main menu while any message doesn't work offline. Dude, that's insane. So you can't even play this console offline. It's likely tethered to the serial number of the console. So the reason behind this is because of promotional deals. Now, you've probably seen this in the modern day, but also back in the day, they had like special promotions with like internet companies like Verizon, Comcast, GameStop, where you would pay a small amount for the console, like $50, $100, but in exchange, you had to keep the online service for a certain amount of time. You had to pay that. So for Xbox Live Gold, it would be $60. So you would have to pay $60 for 5 years, and it would cost more than the console, but it was a way for a buy now, pay later system, like what's bankrupting a lot of people nowadays. But yeah, you can see this here. So this was actually a thing that Microsoft GameStop had going on, that you could get an Xbox for like $50, but you had to keep the Xbox Live for like 5 years or something along those lines. This person clearly didn't keep the subscriptions, especially if the console had issues, but before 5 years were up. So basically, they just stopped paying the Xbox Live Gold, and because of that, the system was completely bricked. Now, this is actually pretty insane. So, another one, Refund Device, a long time ago, is a layaway program from few retailers where you can get one for good bucks a month, bundled with Internet, Xbox Live. I think they were owned by Carter Spectrum. So, yeah, there are a lot of people who had these programs where you had to pay for Xbox Live Gold for a certain amount of time. And if you didn't, I guess they brick your console. The thing is, this is really, really scary on the grand scheme of things. Like right now, we have a huge battle when it comes to ownership, especially within Nintendo. Like the Nintendo Switch 2 kind of opened the floodgates for a lot of things. The game keycard system, where you don't even own the game; it's on a keycard that you download the game from an online server. And a lot of people are not happy with this. Like, even nowadays, Microsoft does this with like a Halo Infinite, Starfield, where the game is not on the disc. Even Gears of War Reloaded, they have to advertise the campaign is on the disc, but the multiplayer is not on the disc. Like my Xbox 360 version of the game, I can access the multiplayer content through local split screen. So it's just becoming more and more ridiculous that you can buy something and not own it. I mean, this isn't a new thing. Like, Apple has been doing this for many, many years, where they basically force you to upgrade to the latest product by slowing down the previous product. And Google does it now, Samsung does it now. Like, all these companies do this. But the idea that if you don't pay the subscription service, like granted, this person did agree to this contract and they didn't fulfill it, still, you should be able to access the console offline. It is tied to the serial number, but this is a little bit ridiculous and very scary. Like, imagine if you bought, like 10 years down the line, they say, okay, you bought the PS7 or something. And they said, in conjunction to buying this console, you have to pay a monthly fee in order to maintain the console's network or whatever. And if you don't do that, the system is bricked until you pay that debt. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, well, what's stopping them from doing this? Like, if you watch Louis Rossmann, you have already seen the havoc that this a new age of not owning anything is having on people. Like, car companies are locking out functions that are on the car on subscription services. Like, you want heated seats on your BMW you just spent $100,000 on? Well, fuck you. You need to pay the subscription fee. Your thermostat doesn't go to a certain function? Well, fuck you. You gotta pay this fee as well. Same thing for Volkswagen. I saw they locked out the high beams function that I believe turns it off and on automatically, which should be a safety feature through a subscription service. Like, all this stuff is becoming more and more insane. And if we allow this to happen, it's just going to get even crazier. Like I said, a very scary future, but how much of your stuff do you actually own? Like, if Amazon decided to close down your Prime account, imagine how much digital stuff you have on that. I look through it. I'm like, dude, I spent a lot of money on movies on my Amazon account. Now I start buying more physical movies because recently the Courage the Cowardly Dog was taken off all streaming services. I have the complete season on a physical disc that I could play on my DVD player. And yeah, this is really scary, because if they decide like a year or two, because they're slowly boiling the water, like everything that happened with the original Xbox One, they're starting to implement in modern day consoles, not just on Xbox, but on PlayStation and Nintendo. And people are just becoming accustomed to it, because kids nowadays are really accustomed to these types of digital only systems, whereas people like me who are super old, I'm 35 years old, remember when you actually bought something and you owned it. So the idea that they could just do this to your console, tie it to the serial number, and say, well, that's it. Like, there are people who likely can circumvent this through modding, because there are people out there who have the entire Xbox 360 game library modded onto their system through an external hard drive. But still, this is something that should be terrifying to you, knowing that Nintendo already has shown that they can brick your system from anywhere and just completely remove access. I believe you can still access the functions offline, but seeing that there are game key cards that require online functionality to operate, and they're trying to lean towards those as opposed to physical releases, because here's another thing I was not aware of. They charge more for the game key cards that require the game, that have the game on the key card. So they charge developers and other publishers more for those key cards. That's why they went for the other key card, the one that requires you to download the game from an offshore server or something. So yeah, they're just trying to make it that you own nothing and you'll be happy about it. And the fact this existed since the Xbox 360 age, it should be even more concerning to you, because guaranteed a system like this exists on the modern day consoles. We're just probably not hearing about it as widespread. Like I said, a lot of people, including myself, didn't even know this was a thing. Like, imagine if like 2 years from now they say, hey, you didn't pay for your Xbox Series, your Xbox Ultimate Pass. We're shutting down all functions for your console. Oh yeah, on top of it, all your saves are gone. Everything is reset to factory setting. You should have paid your function. You paid your bill, and if you don't pay your bill, we're just going to hold that over your head. Like, all your save files are gone. That's it. Like, I know I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist like Dale Gribble, but dear God, like, if you watch Louis Rossmann, you'll see that this stuff is becoming increasingly more Black Mirror-esque. Like, everything from that show is starting to become a reality, and this is very terrifying to me. But tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Tell me if I'm being just like too scared about this, but I feel like I'm being very rational, because companies will do whatever they can to screw you over. They are not your friends. They will do whatever they can to squeeze as much money from you as possible. If like EA has stated this, I forgot who the executive was, that if they could charge you to reload your gun in Battlefield, they would do it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a gacha game out there that already does it. Because, well, they have a game like that. It's called Madden and FIFA, and they do it through loot boxes. But you get what I'm saying. Like, never trust a company, and this right here should be very concerning to you. Either way, tell me what you think in the comments below. Love to hear other people's opinions on this. But that's it from me, and I need to take a break from this. God.